Hi, Charlene here, and today I'm going to show you how you can start a weekly live stream show, why it's so important to have a weekly show on a consistent basis, and how to actually do this in a sustainable and very easy way. I'm going to have 3 steps, I'm going to have tips, and I'm going to be answering questions some of you have messaged me, so let's get started. Hello, I am Charlene Tessier, founder of Strength and Numbers. I'm helping you to attract those motivated prospects to your online coaching business using a combination of LinkedIn and live streaming. Today, we are talking about how to build your weekly live stream show. And I know this is a little bit of I got the wrong thing there going on. I know that today is actually Friday. It is not Thursday, and that's okay. Things happen. Hey, when you go live, things can happen. And yesterday, unfortunately, I'm very sorry. Things in my personal life happened. Instead of canceling, I just rescheduled it. But I just so sorry that I had to change it. So for those of you who messaged me saying, so sad you're going to miss this show today, no worries. I will tag you in LinkedIn. Thanks for messaging me. And it was somewhat, I guess, a little bit great that I ended up having to postpone it because a few people messaged me some questions. And so we will also get to that as well at the end. If you have questions during the show, you can place them into the comments at any time. I will try to get to them if I can. And if they are, of course, matching to today's theme. If they aren't matching to today's theme, that's okay. Still pop them in there. And I always answer every question in a live stream. I'll just do it in another one. And I will also tag you so you won't miss that answer. Today, we're talking about creating a weekly live stream show and why it's so important and the power of it. Well, a weekly live stream show ensures that your audience knows when you're going to go live, what day, what time. And I do have quite a few videos about this and that. By doing this, you're going to build up your fan base because they're going to know and expect from you weekly brand new content. This is great also for the LinkedIn algorithm, YouTube. They all want to see fresh new content. You don't need to create 5 videos a week. You don't even need to create 3 a week. You can just do 1 a week. As long as it's brand new, just do it, have it up there. Now, there's a few things that I have some questions about often, and that is maybe if you are new to live streaming and you're kind of camera shy and you're kind of thinking to yourself, there's no way I'm going to be able to sustain a weekly live stream show. I'm not going to have time to get the content. I don't think I'm going to have time to plan. You kind of have all these things that are kind of hindering you. Well, a great way to get started is to either have a weekly guest, which can be, its own amount of work in its own way, or if you want to make it even more lightweight, have a co-host. It's like having a meeting, right? And when you got to show up for that coffee meeting, you're going to be there, especially if you pre-schedule it. So it's an easy way to get started is you can have a co-host where you sort of run a show that has a similar theme and make it interesting, but it's kind of a similar format. Therefore, it isn't very preparation heavy. Pardon me. One of the ways you can do this, and this was not my idea. This is from Kimberly Whitcap, and she had a podcast in the past where they used a random word generator, and from that one random word, they would have to tie it back to online marketing, because that's what she was talking about. So you could do things like that. You can even do this idea of the random word generator and tie it back to your topic. You know your stuff really, really well. And so you don't really need a lot in terms of preparation. You know your business and you know much more than your own audience. And by having a co-host, you kind of have that play on together. Ideas that one person says will generate ideas for you, and it just brings it up for interaction, making it more lively, more fun, and it's much more lightweight. So that's an easy way for you to actually get started with a weekly show. It's one of the first challenges people face is that they don't think that they can actually do it all themselves. And so why not do it with a co-host and run it once a week, choose a day and time that you can do, and just put aside 30 minutes and create something that's like this random word generator where you don't need a lot of preparation and you can have a bit of fun and get your show started really easily. Now, the next thing you need to know to get to start going is try not to do too many kind of impromptu live streams. It's okay in the beginning if that's kind of how you start out, but you will find that if you do that over time, your viewership will actually drop. And that's because you aren't talking about the things maybe that they want to hear. You're just talking about what you think they want to hear. Two, you might talk about the same things over and over again, so it's not as high value. And three, you may kind of end up kind of rambling or going on an off topic because you didn't really plan it. Now, you don't need to script it. I don't script mine, but I do plan the topics. And many of the topics are actually chosen, or what I decide to talk about almost always actually come up from comments that I get, emails. I get a lot of actually direct emails and direct messages through LinkedIn from people who've been watching my live stream and asking me things. And that's how I end up getting these questions, and they turn into live streams, because if one person is asking me, often two people are asking me the same thing, three things, etc. So that is a great way to start creating a list. Of course, you can just do any kind of content generation list you can, and it's a great way to get started. Start with that, but I would really recommend trying to find questions either through Reddit, through Quora, on other communities, or people asking questions about the things that you can help solve, and answer those. Those will be the best performing videos. People will share them, people will love them, and you will provide a lot of value. So the planning, I'm going to share with you my very simple framework. And like I said, don't need to script it, but all I do is I put a few little points down for each of these sections. We have first the intro, and it's also the hook. And you notice at the beginning of this live stream, or maybe you missed it because you're cutting in a little bit late, and that's okay. But I didn't start out with, I'm Charlene, this is my business. No, I started out with what this live stream is going to be about. Why is it going to be interesting to you? Why is what you're delivering in the live stream interesting to the audience? They actually don't really care about your name. Sorry to say, they don't really care about your business's name. What they want to know is, what are you going to develop? What value are you going to deliver to them today in this live stream? Why should they watch? Why should they be here? And that's the very first thing you're going to be delivering. And that is it's the intro or the hook, whatever you want to call that. That I spend actually the most amount of time on, and that's where the question comes from, right? That is the most important. If you don't hook them, people aren't going to be watching. Then after I have a intro video, you don't have to have that. You can just have a basic intro like I have. I just have my name and my one-liner. Again, don't have a 30-second introduction about yourself. That is too long. If you want to do a video about your story and your origin story and how you made challenges, then again, always think about it from the perspective of those who are watching. What kind of lesson can they learn from what you experienced, and tie it in together, but don't have a long intro. People want an intro that's essentially 5 seconds or less. So that's all done and dusted, right? We've already got the first part of our live stream done. Next is we're going to have, of course, the body, the thing we're going to teach, talk about, or whatnot. Again, for this, you can have up to 3 points, but I would only have one singular idea. And even this one singular idea, you want to kind of either do a high level or maybe talk about the high level and then deep dive into one of those points, but try to just talk about one thing. And this topic that I'm talking about today, how to have a weekly live stream show, is actually big, really big. And today I'm only going to be able to give you the very high level things to do, because I've already given you a ton of information, haven't I? Even before we even got to the structure about how to get started with the show, how to do it weekly, and how to be consistent. And that's because there's so much to cover. And so just doing the high levels, and then maybe next week or in a few weeks, I will actually cover much more the first point, how to really bring in the viewership, how to really get more views, how to get more shares, into more of a deep dive. And so you really are surprised that in live stream, you can't cover it all. Just talk about one very kind of specific point that you want them to take away. And one of the things I often do is at the very end, at the bottom of my structure, is I will write out what that thing is. Just in one sentence, what is the whole point of this live stream? right? In one sentence, you should be able to have it. If it takes 5 sentences, you probably then have 3 to 5 ideas, and that is a lot. So, what is the one thing they should take away from all of the stuff you're talking about here today? Just really only one big message. And that's how your live stream should be really kind of crafted around that one big message. You can jot out a few points, of course, 3 to 5, maybe a tip, maybe a how to step by step, whatever you think works. There's also things you can do. You can mix it up with having a story intermixed with a lesson or intermixed with examples or case studies. There's so many ways to present the essentially same information from different angles and making it super interesting. After I have essentially jotted out the body and that one main idea, I have the outro, which is what you say at the end every time. And that's it. And so that's all I really do. I do it very quickly. It takes probably 15 minutes, maybe 30, but 15 is pretty quick for me for the main part. I do, like I said, spend a lot of time on that first hook part, that little introduction to what the live stream is about, because I really want to make it juicy, make it good. And that also goes into the written text for when I pre-schedule it, as well as 2 to 3 sentences to hook you in, because it's just, think of it like a trailer for the movie, right? Those 3 sentences are going to hook people in to get them watching you. So the third little tip I have for you for making these weekly live streams interesting and exciting is that you want to always talk to the one. And I know this can be a little bit of a mind bender for people, because you are maybe your service offering is for businesses. Yes, I'm talking to an audience of a group of people right now, but on the other end of that screen, they are only seeing me. And it's just like me and you having a conversation and getting to know each other. And when you use words that are they or the group, it actually makes it less powerful, because it's removing, they're not part of it. It's like many, right? But if I say you, if I point out to you that this is important or how you can do this, it's as if I'm speaking right to you, right? And so it is very, very powerful. And so using what's called the power of one, speaking to the one person. And I've spoken about this in many other videos. I will just only touch on it, but that person should be real. And if you can't have any, you don't have a customer in mind who you always speak to, you can kind of create one out of many other customers, but it should be one. They should be actually like a person. And when you do that, it is so amazingly powerful. So those, again, let's just go over really quick the 3 steps. The first is you want to choose a day and time, do it consistently. Be there when you say you're going to be there as consistently as possible. It will be better for the algorithm. It's better for your audience. And you will always be putting out fresh new content. Second, use a simple framework like I have here, which just has the hook, the quick intro, the body, and then the main point you really want people to take away from your one idea live stream, and then your little outro. And third, use the power of one, right? Speak to that one friend of yours, to that person who really asked you that question. And you'll kind of notice some themes in this, and that there's a lot of ones, right? Having a live stream with just one idea and speaking to the power of one. It's quite amazing at how powerful those things are. Now, I am going to answer one question that I got from email from Elizabeth. She wanted to know whether or not on LinkedIn shorts perform better than long form. This is the great debate amongst much social media videos today. And there isn't actually a short answer, ironically, and that shorts are very popular, of course. We are seeing them much more, of course, on even Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, even YouTube now has shorts, right? And shorts are generally under 2 minutes. That's what's classified as a short. They can be even as short as 30 seconds, 5 seconds, 60 seconds, okay? But a short video generally is anything under 2 minutes if you look at the definition, right? So do shorts perform better on LinkedIn than a long form video? Well, this is a little bit of a catch-22. I would not come on to do a live stream for 30 seconds. I cannot really deliver what I need to deliver live in 30 seconds. Also, there's much more preparation involved, as you saw in this entire live stream, involved in a live stream. In addition, LinkedIn actually, if you look through their criteria, which I can put that link up above for you all, they actually ask that when you live stream, they recommend that you live stream for a minimum of 15 minutes. And you can live stream for as long as 2-3 hours, I believe, on LinkedIn. And it's because live streaming is just a different way to deliver your message. It's for a different kind of audience. It serves a different kind of purpose. And so I would not, to be honest, make a live stream that's a short, that's under 5 minutes. Most of my live streams are a minimum of 5 to 10 minutes. They don't always exceed the 15 minutes like I'm doing today, because I do them in short tips. Although when I have guests, I do have a longer show. So live streaming, I would say long form format. That is just the way it is kind of designed. YouTube, traditional YouTube videos, not YouTube shorts, are again generally favoring long form videos. And they're also looking at not only if people watch, but how long do they watch? Do they watch from beginning to the very end? These are just different metrics that are on different platforms that are ranking them in different ways. And always remember, these are YouTube and LinkedIn. These algorithms are essentially what I call the black box, which means I don't know what's inside. You don't know what's inside. Nobody knows what's inside except those who have created it. So we are all kind of guessing here when we hear people say, oh, it performs better when it's like that because of the algorithm. It is really just an assumption. And it can be tested and it may work for a while, but over time it can change because whoever is controlling that can change it at any moment in time. And so I call them black boxes because that's what they are. And so do shorts perform better on LinkedIn than a long form like a live stream? Well, I would say a live stream short would not perform very well on LinkedIn, to be honest. Especially because it's actually stated on their LinkedIn website criteria that they should be long form. What could perform very well on LinkedIn are upload recorded video shorts. And I was actually very curious if shorts would perform well on LinkedIn. And I created a series of shorts, I think 10 to 15. And every week I do actually post a pre-recorded short. So this is a video that's been recorded. It's not live. It is under a minute, under 2 minutes. I think most of my shorts are between 30 seconds and 1 minute. They do tend to perform quite well. It does take a bit of crafting to get your message or of something of value in that very, very short time. And so often I don't do myself in those shorts. Because I would have to really script it and memorize it and say it very precisely. And often because on LinkedIn, I'm not sure if you know, but 80% of the content is actually watched without sound. It's much better to have a short that has text on the side. And I saw Lisa Hannigan have it. It was auto-generated from a different platform. I use another type of tool that creates essentially text content instead of me saying it. It's the same thing. It's just in a much more concise, so people can read it very quickly and it flashes through very at a rapid rate. So do shorts perform better than live stream long form? They're different. I can't say one outperforms the other. Shorts do perform very well. I think shorts are really great for getting people in, but I also do find that shorts are sort of this consumable that people are getting kind of used to. Like they consume it, but they don't act on it. They don't do anything with it. And I'm really looking for clients who want to take action. And I think if you're only consuming shorts, you might just be dabbling or just getting a high level, seeing if this is what you really want. But if you want to really learn something, gain a skill, become better at LinkedIn, become better at live streaming, they are both skills. They take time, they take effort, they take energy. Long form video live streaming will always outperform that, I believe. I hope that answers your question, Elizabeth. I went into it into quite a bit of detail. I think I'll actually make a separate video just for that, for those who are interested in that question, because that is an amazingly great question. If you have other questions, send them to me. You can drop them in the comments below. You can send me a direct message. You can email me or join my community. So actually, I'll pop up for you my community, because that's a great way to ask me questions. I also, oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. Also in my community, here I often go over the high level things of it. Like, for example, I didn't give you the written structure for the live stream. I give all those goodies for free in my community. So if you want those templates, those handouts, and you want to be part of over 170 online coaches who are attracting clients on LinkedIn, then I highly recommend you grab that up above. Well, till next time, I will see you then.